Yeah, yo, man. Lunar Eclipse. This is set to happen at around 20 past 6 roundish there. So this is happening tomorrow. If I've got my facts correct, if I got my facts straight. I woke up this morning actually when I was doing my social media run. Hi, Kathy. And so I was trying to check. Actually, I asked the question. I typed the question. I asked, "Is the lunar eclipse today?" Because I actually wanted to wake up and go and see it in the morning. This is 6ish, 6:20ish in the morning. So I checked. It says no, this thing is happening tomorrow. So I'm really interested in seeing lunar eclipse. Wake up tomorrow morning, 6:20ish there. Go outside and check it out, right? And speaking of that, bro, see, the thing is, I was speaking to my business associate the other day. So me and her, we really interested in such things. And related. So we were talking about getting a telescope, right? So there's this gentleman also I'm always checking out online as well. It's just that I forget his name. Sorry, my dude. But he's always he's got like these big telescopes, gigantic. He's always checking out, showing us images of Saturn, right? Venus, the other stars, and a whole lot of other stars, right? So I'm saying, bro, like, what is the general interest in things like this in in our should I say society, country? Because I've been talking about how our youth and our young people, they seem to be interested in things that really don't matter, things that really don't add value in our lives. Somebody asked me the other day, so you are having interest in such things, how do they add value in your life? For instance, there's a way that the ISS, right? So it has different, how do you say, should I say, there's different parts of the ISS and how they dock and undock, right? The precision that one part of it docks and gets on the other. That technology is actually used for what do you call this thing? Eye surgery, right? And those things, they're really important. So imagine if a child grows up, being able to comprehend and fathom the ISS. Imagine like now the things that they put in together, they put in the ISS together, like a Lego set or whatever the case is, and them being able to fathom that this thing, actually this model, ISS model, actually lives out there in space, and it orbits the Earth every single day. So imagine what kind of perspective a child has, knowing that is possible, right? So they are able to think out of the box, knowing that the star that you look at every night, or those stars that you look at every night, the same stars that you were singing about, Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star, you're able, there's actually people who are living there, you're actually able to get there, you know what I'm trying to mean? So in that, that in itself, sees the children, being able to, use a different kind of way of thinking in this world that we're living in, and bro, don't get me wrong. I do know that, we are at a certain place or a certain level, or, we've reached we're in the information age, right? Actually, we're not even in the information age. We're in the application age, where all of this information that has been gathered throughout the years, bro, it's time to apply. It's time for application, you know what I mean? So it's like, our young people, bro, they're really interested in things that really don't matter. Do you understand? I saw just last year, bro, there was this thing where people were going out to, parks and social spaces, public places, bro. Kids, youth, bro, they've got this thing, in the auspice of trying to make comedic and such material, right? Where they were body shaming each other, talking down on each other. The Yo Mama culture from MTV back in the day. I mean, that was something different. But now how South Africa is adopting these kind of things, bro, I don't know, bro. I was talking about, how the media is structured and how, we adopted the British way, of doing things, whatever the case is. Somebody says, no, it's inherently an industry that grew from, those spaces or those countries or whatever the case is. But it doesn't mean that we don't have people who are, taking part, whatever the case is. Or, who are also, I mean, there's more towns of the world and these things. But what I actually meant was, we see pop culture, and then when we try to emulate it using our own or giving our own spin-off of those kind of things, bro, I don't know, some people, I think they just lose the plot, bro. So there was this thing where this videos where these guys, they line up and they popping balloons, and this Jane maybe it would be women, and he'd want to go out on a date with one, whatever the case is. The girls would tell him about themselves, whatever the case is, and if he doesn't like the girl, he pops the balloon, whatever the case is, until he gets to the one that he actually likes, and maybe those that he likes, he's gonna take them out on a date or whatever the case is, bro. I don't even like that kind of content, but nonetheless. So last year I saw this one sprung up where these guys here in our country, they get together in a public space, body shame each other, this and that, the yo mama thing. All I'm saying is, have fun, enjoy yourself. That's cool, that's great. But what I'm also saying is, bro, how is it that we are not influencing, things that are really important, and things that seem to add value in our lives, and also, like, how do you say, influence it on the young generation, so that they can actually reach the heights that we probably had never reached or weren't able to reach, and they can pick up where we left off, kind of situation, like the relay thing. You feel me? But man, I don't know, but we just see, and I saw this. There's also this other thing where when American culture, they have their way of doing their own thing. They have their own culture, whatever their case is. We try so hard to like emulate what they're doing, and in turn, it's like, if you really take a look at it, there's a identity crisis that a lot of people out in the free world experience on a daily basis, and they look to us for things with substance and originality. But hey, I mean, it's neither here nor there, man. This conversation can go on forever, but I'm just saying, man, there's a lunar eclipse tomorrow in the morning. If you're really interested, man, if you are out there and you've got interested in these type of things, man, you can wake up in the morning, man, and catch the lunar eclipse. Shout out.